Hello.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Can I ask you what, first of all, the trite question, what this means to you, and also, what do you think it is about this film, this subject matter, which is a true story, that really seems to grab people's attention?
Well, yes, it is a great honor because truly this is, ultimately the type of film that I don't believe gets made that often anymore. It's not a film with, superheroes, monsters, or great war sequences. It's a character drama, an epic character drama. So we're all very proud of its accomplishments tonight. Howard Hughes, he's one of those mythic men, one of those mysterious figures that people have been fascinated by for years. I mean, I know people who utterly devote their lives to knowing more about this man because he was so, he's not easily defined, ultimately. He was a complex individual, and the film ultimately for us was not about portraying him in a great light or showing what a huge hero he was, but it was a undiscovered character study, ultimately, and a very interesting one at that.
Leonardo, congratulations. 2 questions.
Thank you.
Why do you think your character clicked so well with Howard Hughes, you as a performer? And also, why are people so friggin' obsessed with whether or not you'll marry Giselle?
I have no idea. Well, I have to the second one. For the first one, what was the first one again?
Why did you click so well?
Why did I click so well with Howard? Probably because, 8 years ago I picked up a book on this man's life, and like I was saying before, I discovered this character that had never been played before, this Icarus figure, this man that kept, striving towards the sun and was relentless in his pursuit of achieving his dreams. He was a man that was obsessed, and it was through the extensive research and ultimately you can't truly. You're not doing a documentary. I'm not playing the man, but you gather as much information as you possibly can and give your interpretation of what you think that character is. And it was through the long process of all the extensive work that I did with John Logan and Martin Scorsese in researching this character, and the people that I got to meet that knew him, and the doctors that helped me understand his condition better. I think ultimately fortune favors the prepared, and yeah.
So many people almost dismiss or speculate, well, if it happened today, they'd have pills for it, and they'd have doctors for it, they'd understand it. Would he have still been that great man? I mean, do you ask yourself those questions?
Well, I think that ultimately, yes, he was a man obsessed, and I think his compulsive disorder ultimately was a result of all his great accomplishments. It was synonymous. All these things were part of the same problem. I mean, Howard Hughes built the biggest airplane ever, made the largest film of that era at that time. He was America's first legitimate billionaire, yet he was petrified by microscopic germs. And if he hadn't had those compulsions, if he didn't have OCD, I definitely don't think he would have achieved what he achieved. He could not. He was relentless and would not stop until he achieved what he wanted. But the whole dynamic of obsessive compulsive disorder, I can go on for hours about.
Leonardo, what did you learn about Hollywood by studying Hughes' life, and how different was that world to the one you work in today?
Well, looking back in the history, as far as that era of cinema, those were the great pioneers. Certainly, Fritz Lang or films like Intolerance. These films, people were making movies at that time and breaking new boundaries. Certainly in Hell's Angels, 4 people died during the course of making that movie. These were, more like generals. These men were breaking new ground every day. To me, I get a chuckle when I talk to my friends who admire the special effects of certain films, and I say, well, have you seen what these men have done in the past? What, the pioneers of cinema have done with real people, So, we credit